Okay, let me just tell you guys. Hello and good morning, because it is still morning by like the tweest bit. Um, I don't generally like to start a vlog by drinking coffee or whatever I have in front of me. It happens quite a lot though, because my camera on my computer will just sit in limbo for freaking ever. So I'll be like, okay, no, it's gonna start. Okay, no, it's gonna start. No, it's gonna start. And then bam, I drink coffee and it starts. So, excuse that rude behavior. An eBay item is ending soon. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about hair care. I don't do a lot of beauty vlogs because I don't consider myself particularly in on that scene. I didn't go to hair or makeup school. I learned everything I know through the school of life. Now and on that, like, look, I'm playing with my makeup today. It actually is blended quite well, though the camera tends to make it look like it's just two big circles, and it's got like a blue, like a teal, glittery teal in there, and the black is glittery also. I've been blending my eyes more and being what I do normally is moisturizer, powder, eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick. That's it. That's how I roll. And, you know, I'll leave the eyeliner off. Sometimes it's just powder, lipstick, and mascara. That's kind of how I do things. It's just easy and fast. But it is fun to play with makeup every once in a while. And it's been a lot of fun to play with the blending and the different brushes. So that's cool. But what I do know a bit about from the school of life is hair, dyeing your hair and keeping a certain amount of health to your hair and everything else. So, cause you might have noticed, have very long hair. I think I might suffer from hair dysmorphia because I always feel like my hair is short, or I'm like, my hair is getting shorter. It's just so short. But then the other day I was at Zumba and I looked around and I realized I have like flipping long hair. Like nobody there has hair even within 6 inches of my length, which is, that's not like, oh yeah, my hair is longer than yours. I'm saying like, I'm thinking I might cut a little because I think I might just be a little weird. I know that when I was extremely big, having long hair felt like a safety net or like a blanket, like a, you know, you can't see me. Here's like, I don't know, it was like having long hair balanced it. I kind of felt like I can't have short hair. I'm fat, and so I'll have this little pea head and this giant body, and everybody will be able to see it. Like in my mind, you couldn't see it if I had hair and baggy clothes, which is just crazy. So anyway. So here's the situation. As I started to lose weight, several things started to happen. And actually, after Hurricane Katrina, oh gosh, that's crazy. I started to have dandruff. Two things. One was I was constantly going like this, like nervous. I'm a nail biter. When I don't bite my nails, I have to find other physical ways to relieve stress. So I was constantly going like this. And I was causing sores on my head, and then like the repetitive motion will then pick the sores, which is a horrible thing. The second thing is, what I learned is like when after Katrina, like I was born and raised in the town I lived in when Katrina hit. So my body, my skin, everything is used to a certain kind of water and air and, you know, all the environmental factors. So when I was then removed into a totally different environment, your skin and your body reacts to the water and the air and the different irritants around in a different way. And when we moved up north, the water was softer, which always made me feel dirty. Like I felt like there was always a film of like soap left, or like it just didn't feel clean the same way. So I think I know I switched to like a harsh, clarifying, strip it all out shampoo and stuff like that. And I think I just really kind of messed with myself because you are still clean. It just feels different because it's a different type of water. Anyway, so I started to get dandruff. So then I started to use different type of dandruff shampoos, and some dandruff shampoos can actually be worse for you and irritate your scalp if you are treating the wrong problem. Like for me, what I probably need to do was like back off the extremely drying and stripping products and just kind of regulate and get used to new water. Also, stress can cause dandruff, which I had no idea. Anyway, stress can like really goof you up, man. It can like totally wreck your world, and it's just crazy. And then, you know, a lot of the stuff that stress causes you to stress more. So it's kind of a vicious cycle there. Anyway, so that happened, and I was like on and off fooling as I moved around, and I guess I never did put this together, but as I moved to different places, my skin and hair would react to the different areas and the different water. And I would be changing soaps constantly, trying to figure it out. And so I was on and off using like dandruff hair stuff. When I lost, okay, then I moved back here. So in a world where I'm used to being. However, the environment is quite different after Katrina. There is the water situation, which, like, girl, amoebas and chlorine, we're going to talk about that. But the water situation is a totally different situation also. It is, again, a hard water, which, you know, I'm used to. However, the system was made for, like, currently was running for 70,000 people. And then after Katrina, when we came back, there was maybe 30. So you have a lot of water that's not being moved around through the pipes, and other water that's being always it just was kind of out of whack. So, you know, I'm using I think I was using Head and Shoulders at that time, and it would burn my head, like, you know. And the other thing is that if you have dandruff and you're trying to like I would just scrub. Like, my thought was, this must be dead skin. I'm not scrubbing off my scalp. So I would like scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub, but you're actually causing more of a problem, and you're harming your skin. You're like ripping it up. We don't think of it the same, or I don't think of it the same way, because, you know, it's behind your hair, so you can't see it. But it was like there was obviously like I was behaving in the wrong way and treating it the wrong way. So I started losing weight, and my hair started to fall out, and it started to fall out around 50 pounds. I honestly believe this. I honestly believe, after a lot of research, there were several things that went into my hair falling out. One, hormones changing. I was losing a lot of weight. I had started to get my period regularly. Like, you could see in my body, skin, and everything else that my hormones were coming back. You know, fat causes your hormones to be out of whack. So my hormones were coming, like, they were starting to adjust and change, and that changes your hair and your fingernail growth and everything else. So there was definitely like that happening. On top of it, I dyed my hair constantly. So I think, was I losing hair? Yes, but then the hair that I had, the long hair that I had, was starting to was thinning out because I was constantly dyeing it, which we're going to talk about. And then finally, it was stress. So there was like just a coming together of like the perfect storm for my hair. In my research, started to learn a lot about Head and Shoulders and how on some people it does cause hair loss. I learned a lot about like overdoing vitamin V can cause hair loss, and I was way overdoing vitamin B, not V. I think it just sounded like I said V, but vitamin B. So there was like a lot of that kind of stuff going on, and I started to regulate things, and I got off the Head and Shoulders, and I started to look for like sulfate free and like a bunch of those type of deals. Alright. A lot of those kind of things. I just started to do some research. And somebody had told me about WEN. I think it might have been Ashley, but somebody else told me about it too. I think it was my friend Evan. Yeah, okay, I think it might have been Evan. So so finally it was like, okay, I'm gonna order WEN. I ordered WEN. Used it. I have very long hair, as I said. On the back of the WEN, it tells you, or does it even say here? Okay. Apply 10 to 15 pumps to your palms and rub together. More for longer or thicker hair. Okay. That seemed like too much. I felt like you are overcharging me for this product, and what you really want is for me to use the whole thing, and so I'm only using a little bit. And it didn't really work. I didn't feel like my hair was really clean. I felt it didn't work. So I was telling somebody about it and about how I was not really excited about the product, and they said, how much are you using? And I was like, well, you know, they say 10 to 15 pumps, but that's more than enough. And they were like, no, use what they tell you to use. Because if you're not using enough, it does not work. And I was like, this is such BS, but okay. So I started using 10 pumps, and I increased for my hair, for as long as my hair is, but it's kind of thin, I used 14 pumps. Everything changed. The health and happiness of my hair is completely different, okay? I freaking love WEN. That does happen to be where my hair stopped falling out, was once I was using WEN regularly. But I think that along with the WEN being gentler, I was then not scrubbing, I was massaging. My hormones had kind of regulated, and quite possibly in a less stressful situation. So it was kind of like everything relieved at once. However, once my hair started to change and to fall out, I stopped dyeing it. And I am a hair dyer. Like seriously, from middle school, I've been dyeing my hair. I like it. This is the longest my hair has ever been the same color, and it's kind of weird for me because I'm like, oh, I want to change my hair color because I'm so used to always changing, but I really like this color, so I'm hanging out. But I like color, and I like to dye my hair. So I was like, you know what? I feel like I could dye my hair and keep the WEN. Like, I'm just not going to bleach my hair. Dyed my hair the first time. And immediately after I dyed it, I put the WEN in my hair, left it on for like 30 minutes, rinsed it out. My hair was so soft. It was none of that like coarse, sticky feeling like right after you dye your hair. It was so nice. And I have done that ever since because I just love what the WEN does. Don't love the price tag. I'm not gonna lie to you. WEN is expensive. It's expensive. It's $30 for a 16-ounce container. $29. If you get the like sign up and you like lock in your price and you become a club member and you can change your shipments anywhere from once a month, which is what they automatically sign you up for, to once every 3 months. You can get the like $40 package, which is 2 16-ounce WENs, of a hair mask, and a hair like styling cream. I don't know if that's still available. I know it comes and goes. But just straight up WEN is expensive. So then recently, now we're going to talk about something else. But I love it. I use my WEN all the time, right? And the hair mask is awesome because after I dye my hair for a little while, like after a couple of times, it'll get kind of dry. I just put the hair mask in and I'll leave it in overnight. It's so killer. So now we're going to talk about what I changed in my hair care routine so that we can understand that there's several things happening. I used to dye my hair, like this red that I dye it. I used to dye it every time from roots down to the ends, just dye it, right? And every time I do it, because it's a lift, it's a highlighting color, so it's got lift in it. I don't pre-bleach, but it does lift. Every time I would do it, my bottom hair, which had been dyed black and had a bunch of different colors, would get closer to the red. If you go back to my videos like a year, it's very like ombre looking because it looks like it's going from red to like a dark, dark red, and that's because I'm dyeing over black. But every time I did it, it would like lift a little more, and get a little closer to being the same color top to bottom. But it was killing my hair, like these little flyweight bits and pieces, it was killing my hair. So I was talking to the girl who does my wife's hair, and she's really sweet. And I was like, listen, I love you to death, but I can't afford to have you dye my hair. And she was like, well, let me tell you how to do it. So now, this is the big change. People ask me all the time how I dye my hair all the time and keep it long. This is the big change. I only highlight lift, like because it's a highlight color, the roots. And then, like, for about this much of my hair, right? And then everything else, I'm just re-redding. That's all I do. It's a red color that just goes on. It's a semi-permanent, but since my hair's already lifted underneath, it stays on there really bright. And on top of that, I use WEN. When I use WEN on my red hair, the first 2 or 3 washes, my hair, my hands, like the WEN that I'm getting off on my fingers, might be a little pink. After that, it stays white. I see a little bit of pink drip off my hair, whatever. If I use normal shampoo after dyeing my hair this color, it looks like I slaughtered something in my tub. Every time. For 3 or 4 weeks. And then when it stops looking like that, it's because my hair doesn't look red anymore. Bam. So I am really all about sticking to my WEN, right? It keeps my red longer. I'm happy with it. Softer. It's awesome. Enter the water problem. Now let me tell you guys. You might have heard me complaining about my water. It's over-chlorinated right now. Horribly. Because there is an amoeba, a brain-eating amoeba, living in our parish's treated water system. It's the first time in the nation the brain-eating amoeba has not been found in fresh water, but has been found in a treated municipal water system. Okay. What that means for cooking, the amoeba, we could cook with the water. We can do everything normally, because when you eat it, which almost everybody has at one point or another, according to my research, it doesn't get to you. However, the chlorine in the water has made the water unusable. They're still saying it's safe to use, but you can smell the bleach coming from the water. My water, in some situations, smells like straight bleach. It's the craziest thing. It will knock you out. So we switched to bottled water. And I was really aggravated, but I just want to tell you right now that I was recently on a field trip with the girls, and we were learning about the water, and I know, and everybody knows, that there are places in the world where people do not have adequate water, much less any fresh water to work with, any unpolluted fresh water. And I was horrified with my behavior and my attitude about my water. How dare I complain? I am blessed infinitely that I have running water, that my water is overly clean, and that I have the ability to buy bottled water to cook with for flavor and, for quality reasons. I was humbled by that. I feel so blessed, and I will not complain about my water anymore. That's my new attitude. I am going to give you some facts about my water. The chlorine in the water made washing your hair a lot like swimming. So I didn't dye my hair red all summer because swimming would just pull it back out. So it was like, well, this is it. It's the last time I'm dyeing it for pride, and then whatever, and I'll dye it again when we're not going to be swimming anymore. But it's running like crazy, even with the WEN. The other thing is, if you ever get out the pool and your hair has that, chlorine feel, the WEN just does not stand up to product. I don't feel like you could really use a lot of product in your hair and use WEN to clean it because it feels kind of gunkety afterwards. You kind of need every once in a while. When I was using products, like once every week and a half, I would wash my hair with a clarifying shampoo, follow it with WEN, and then use only WEN for a week, and then do it again. Because you really need to get that stuff out of your hair. So the WEN was not standing up to the chlorine, like on a regular basis. So I started to look around, and there's been other things about the WEN. Like I wanted to try the pomegranate flavor, but I did not want to spend $30 on a giant thing because so far the only WEN smell that I can deal with is sweet almond mint. The cucumber is awesome, but I can't take it. You know, I'm very smell sensitive. Things make me extremely ill. And sometimes, like, you might be able to wear the cucumber mint next to me, but when I have it on my head, so I'm smelling it all day, it makes me very ill. The tea tree oil one made me very ill. There was a pumpkin spice one that I really liked, but I had to use it every once in a while because it could make me sick. So it was like, I don't want to try a pomegranate flavor and then not be able to use it. And there was a coconut, and I was like, oh, coconut, that makes me so happy, but it's a special edition and it's $30 for 16 ounces, which comes out to be like $1.80 something an ounce. And that's just kind of a lot. Sorry, it is. A while back, I was in Winn-Dixie, and I noticed that they had a container. It looked like WEN. I was like, what is that? And it was REN, R-E-N, and it's a cleansing conditioner. And I looked for it again not too long ago, and it wasn't there. So then the other day, I was at Walgreens, and I noticed that they had REN, R-E-N, right? And I picked it up, and I was like, that's interesting. And then I realized there's quite a few cleansing conditioners out right now. And I decided to pick one up and to give it a try and then to do a comparison review. And we did all of that conversation for this. Alright, so WEN by Chaz Dean. You can get a 32 ounce, this is a regular price, you can get a 32 ounce container of it from QVC for $50. I don't know about shipping, but it's $49.99. Let's call it $50, and that makes it per ounce about $1.56. Now I'm going to show you something. This is how WEN comes out. Okay, it's very thick. It's, you know, it's not gonna. Might fall. I don't want it to fall on my computer, but it's not going to run. It's very thick. So if you like, can you see that? Like, it just kind of stays. So when I put it in my hair, it's like I rub it in, and then I leave it on, and then when it comes time to rinse it out, you add a little bit of water. Now I'm going to back up and do this over this, and you just kind of rub it, but it stays very thick. All right. So there we go. That's the WEN. Smells good. It's got a very strong smell. It stays very thick. I picked up the Salon Graphix Healthy Hair Nutrition Condition Cleanser for dry or damaged hair, because I dye, and I'm fighting chlorine right now. It says, moisturizing, sulfate and paraben free, color defend formula, Moroccan macadamia. The cool thing about buying these things in person is you can smell them. So I knew from get that this guy wasn't going to make me sick. Alright? That's one. Two, he was $7.99. We'll call him $8. He is a smaller bottle. This is a 16 ounce. This guy is 12 ounces. However, when you do the math, it's my wife just texted me that my soup was so good it should be illegal. That's awesome. When you do the math, he comes out to $1.50 an ounce. So that's always fun. Now, so I get him in the so he's a little bit cheaper by like half what? 6 pennies per ounce. Alright. However, a little bit cheaper, but $8. No, I'm lying to you. That's if you buy the 32 ounce. If you buy the 16 ounce for $30, it's $1.81 an ounce. So it's actually a 30-cent difference. Alright, now we're going to do this. When you pour him out, he looks a little bit like WEN, but he is a much thinner product. Do you see that? So much more watery. God, it smells so good. A much more watery product. And I was a little bit weirded out by that because I kind of felt like, that might, not work as well. Then you read the directions, and it's 4 to 8 pumps to fully saturate hair, more for longer. Oh, okay. Because it is more watery, it does rub in and get further in your hair. So where I use 14 pumps of the WEN, I only need to use like 11 of this guy. Put it in, tied my hair up, took my shower. When it came to rinsing it out, with the WEN being so thick, I wet my hair and then I just rub it, kind of like work it through even though it doesn't lather, and then I rinse it out. And it always is a little questionable, did I actually get it all out? Because if you don't get all your WEN out, your hair will be greasy within a day and a half, at the most, maybe within a couple hours. With this guy, I washed it out. It felt like washing my hair with shampoo. I could feel by the washing that my hair was clean and it was rinsed out. Almost to the point where I was like, this is not going to work. Like when I get out, this is not going to work. Okay. Brushing my hair out, I did have to be a lot more careful with the wet hair to detangle it because it didn't quite give the way it does after washing with WEN. With WEN, it's almost like there's a coating on it, so it just kind of untangles itself. This one I actually did have to work with a little bit more. After it dried, there's no difference. If anything, and this is considering with the chlorine in the water and everything, so I am going to try it after the chlorine is regulated. But I like the Salon Graphix better. First of all, if you're going to buy it for $50 to save the money, it's still higher in price. 2, I don't have $50 to spend on shampoo. I do have 8. So that's cool. I actually plan on doing a lot more of these reviews because I'm going to try the different flavors. I like being able to smell the different ones. I am going to try WEN next time because before I use the different, I'm going to try the different brands so I can review them for you guys. There are 3 other brands. So I am going to try those and maybe I'll do a full review all at once of all of them. But I did want to get this out there, and I know we talked about a bunch of other stuff, but people do ask me about my hair a lot, so there you go. It's a whole lot of hair information. But this, and my kids are like, your hair smells so good. It really smells. At church, people are like, dang, your hair smells good. It's got a really good smell. Now, if you don't like it, my wife is a little bit questionable. She's like, I can't quite tell if I like that or not. You might not, but there are other flavors, and you can smell them in the store. So cool. I love it. And you can try them for $8 versus $30. Yay! And you can buy it when you need it, not have it auto-delivered or auto-drafted from your account. That's a bunch of big things that I just think I really am very interested in. This is the first Salon Graphix thing that I've ever tried. I did post a picture of it that I was going to try it on Instagram, and I had somebody tell me that they have a great hairspray, and I had some other people tell me that they had great hair products. And I mean, this is my only experience, but I really think that's probably true because I had the same experience with their cleansing conditioner. And that is it for this beauty vlog. I'm going to go finish my coffee, upload this vlog, and I will be here tomorrow with a WEN.